Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Yeah, the old clock says it's 5 o'clock. Beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer comes from Paradox Beer Company. These guys are out of Divide, Colorado. This is their, according to the bottle, it says Pineapple Upside Down Sour, aka Scully number 40. And what it says here, sour golden ale brewed with pineapple aged in rum barrels. Sounds pretty tasty. Anything aged in a barrel is usually pretty tasty, guys. Heavy sediment on the bottom of this bottle. This was sent to me by Nate. Nate, I apologize. It's been a little while since you sent it to me. Since I have a cellar this into the fridge for quite a while now. But being a sour wild ale and being rum barrel aged on top of that, I figured it would sell it for a little bit. Now is the time. We're going to get into this. So once again, Nate, thanks again, my brother. I do appreciate you sending this to me. I don't think I've had anything that I can recall from Paradox Beer Company. So, commercial description. This is a 7.6% according to what I have here. 2016, it's got right under the skull and crossbones underneath here. Actually, it's not crossbones. It looks like a brew paddle. But it's got a nice skull on it. Says here, bottle conditioned on there. It does have 2016 and several different places on it. And color profile and alcohol by volume is 7.6%. I don't see the IBUs on the bottle. We'll step over and see if we have it on Untapped. They have 17 listed on Untapped. So it shouldn't have a heavy bitterness to it at all at 17 IBUs. So, commercial description says pineapple upside down sour, sour golden ale brewed with pineapple aged in rum barrels. The aroma of a freshly baked pineapple upside down cake is a powerful force that often draws the entire family to the kitchen. To pay tribute to this classic gooey goodness, we blended molasses-rich muscovado sugar and caramelized crushed pineapple into our mixed fermentation. Nicaraguan rum barrel aged golden ale. Feel at home right where you are. So see if it's going to taste like a pineapple upside down cake. With that wild ale in there, yeast in there, and being a sour, don't know how sweet it's going to be, if it's going to be tart. Most of the sour beers are tart. Wild ale yeast beers are kind of tart. So, we'll see. We shall see, I say. Don't think there's anything else we need to talk about, so let me get this thing opened up. Hopefully it's not a gusher. Very unique bottle. Nice little hiss. I don't think it's going to come rushing out. Didn't have a big pop to it. And while I get this in there, I'm going to try to not disturb all this sediment that's in the bottom of it here. 2016, I don't know when in 2016 they did it. Food pairing cheeses, pepper, Monterey, pepper jack. Your stronger cheeses, Gorgonzola, Limburger, and it says here general salad. I'm not much into general salad. I do eat salads, but I don't eat general salad. And I don't do a lot of food pairings with salad. Well, I didn't quite get it all in there. Glassware, flute, tulip, oversized wine glass. This is my favorite tulip glass, the Sovereign beer glass. It says here can be sold for a long period of time. Didn't pour very much of a head. It's just barely covering the top of the beer. And for bottle condition, it does have a lot of bubbles streaming up, but it's not very cloudy. I can see the light right through it. It is a light golden ale. Not super light, not to the macro color light, but it's a lighter golden ale. Or shall I say a medium golden ale. Let's get a nose to it. Now you can see the head is dissipated completely. Not even covering the top of the beer. Definitely getting the sour yeast right off the bat. Smells very sourish / tart on the nose. Little hints of some pineapple in there, guys. But it smells very tart on the nose. The yeast is definitely in the front seat there. That wild sour yeast is there. Well, let's dive in and see what we got. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Nate. Wow. That is sour tart. Absolutely. Wow. Makes me do the pucker thing. Not getting a whole lot of pineapple on there. Very tart, very sour. Hints of pineapple. Not outstanding. I mean, it's not like eating a piece of pineapple upside down cake by any means. May go well with that, with a slight hint of the pineapple that's in this. And it may match well with that sweet dessert, with being as sweet as it typically is, with a little bit of sour tartness to go with it. But it seems they're very well made. The alcohol is very well hidden. Not my typical style of beer, not something that I would typically pick up, but I do enjoy these occasionally, and I want to thank Nate and everybody else that sends me these sour wild ales. I'm still trying to get my arms around this style, and slowly but surely I'm getting there. Not getting a lot of super sweetness on it with the yeast they've used on this. But we're going to let it warm up and let my palate adjust to it a little bit and see by the time it comes up to room temperature, 20-30 minutes down the road, if I'm thinking I'm getting a little more sweetness to it. Right now, just a slight hint of some pineapple in there, guys. It's not outstanding. It's definitely not in the front seat. The yeast, the sour tartness is definitely in the front seat here on this one. Well, let's let it warm up, let her taste it, and I'll come back and see what I think of it. Alright guys, I got a little bit left here. A little easier to sip on and drink on once you've had the first couple of sips. First couple, boy, wow. Now that it's come up to room temperature, I've been sipping on it about 20 minutes or so. Definitely getting the pineapple is a little more apparent now. Not much, but a little bit. And as far as rum barrel, slight, ever so slight hint of that. If you didn't tell me it was rum barrel aged, I would not know that. I'm not getting a big aspect of that in the beer. The yeast is just so potent in this beer. It's taking up the whole front seat and part of the back seat, maybe even taking up the whole back seat. The pineapple is so subdued on this beer. That the yeast is overpowering everything. It's a well-made beer, don't get me wrong. And the guys that probably like these sour ales probably think this is top-notch. And I'm not going to degrade it because my palate can't handle it. It is a well-made beer. And for this size bottle, I'm sure it's not a cheap bottle to buy. Nate, you may want to post in the comments what this bottle costs to purchase. I think it's a 500 milliliter. Tasty beer, guys. Like I said, I'm trying my best to wrap my arms around this style of beer. And like I said, as I sip on it, it's easier to drink. Now that it's got to the last part of it, it's a lot easier than the first sip or two. And when I got off camera, I poured the rest of that in there, trying not to disturb the yeast cake that was in the bottom of it. And it did cloud the beer up a little bit. So it's not quite as clear as it was when I first poured it in the glass. Final chug. A little breadiness in there. Definitely getting the wild sour yeast. Slight hint of some pineapple. And then it's an ever so slight hint of the rum in there. Like I said, if you didn't tell me it was rum barrel aged, I'm not getting enough aspects on the nose or the taste to tell that. But very delicious beer though. Like I said, the guys that enjoy these super sours or super wild ale yeast beers, this is a top-notch beer probably. So to me, it's not a 10 beer, guys. I do think it's a well-made beer though, and it's a very delicious beer. Not something that I would personally seek out for myself, but like I said, I'm trying to get my arms around this style of beer, and I think this is a very good one. So for me, guys, A- for me. Numeric rate on this would be a 92. That's where I'm going to put this beer. Especially since it's got the vintage on there, 2016 in several places, got the ABV on there, telling you all the information, pineapple upside down sour. That's exactly what it is. Pineapple, I'd like to see a little stronger note of that, and maybe a little stronger note of the rum, but the yeast is just so strong on this beer to me. I'm not getting a big aspect of either one of those. Slightly there, but not bold. So let's run over to Beer Advocate, see what they say. No score. Not enough. They haven't had 10 people comment on this beer for them to post a score. Over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says overall 94, 69 in the style. 94, good numbers from those guys over there. And our final check-in, we'll run over to Untapped. Untapped averages at 4.19. That is in their lower A score. So I agree, it is an A beer. It's a delicious beer. It's probably, if you're into the sours or wild ale sour beers, this is probably a top-notch beer. It could even be a 10 to you. And if you say, oh my God, you're crazy, it's a 10 beer, I wouldn't argue with that. My palate hadn't got to that point yet, but I think it is a well-made beer. Not getting any aspects of the alcohol at 7.6%. Well done, beer. Well done. Once again, Nate, thank you, my brother. I do appreciate it. If you've had this one from, this is from Paradox, a beer company. And this is their Pineapple Upside Down Sour, a.k.a. Scully number 40. So, let me know what you think if you've had it. Guys, come on back tomorrow. Let's take something out of the fridge. See you then.